Welcome back. Pro-U.S. rebels in Syria say they have killed a second American fighting with Islamic terrorists. My colleague Yasmin Vasugian has been following this so closely. What more do we know, Yasmin?
Yeah, right now U.S. officials are working to confirm that second American that may have been killed fighting for ISIS. But if true, he's going to be the second American jihadist that we know of fighting for ISIS. Over the weekend, U.S. officials confirmed the death of Douglas McCain, a known ISIS fighter from Minnesota. McCain was an Islamic convert and U.S. citizen whose family was unaware of his affiliation with the terrorist organization. Now, joining me now is CNN terrorism analyst Paul Cruikshank. Paul, are men like Douglas McCain the new face of ISIS?
Well, they could be. There are perhaps dozens of Americans who are part of ISIS and up to 1,000 Europeans who are part of this group. So the concern in Western capitals, including here in Washington, D.C., is if these guys are ready to get killed in Syria and Iraq, they may also be ready to be killed in suicide bombings, perhaps back in the West. A lot of concern right now about this, Yasmin.
Paul, are they actively being recruited or are they looking to join ISIS? How is it that they're actually being recruited?
It's both push and pull. A lot of these people feel that it's their religious duty to go and join this Islamic State, to join ISIS over there in Syria. They're influenced by extreme interpretations, distorted interpretations of Islam. But ISIS is also making a big push to recruit them over social media, over videos. They're using American recruits, German recruits, French recruits to put the message out, come and join us in our Islamic State. They're projecting that in idyllic terms, projecting the fighters there as heroic, who are going and getting hold of a lot of territory in Iraq and Syria. So the young men who are going there want to be part of what they see as a glorious struggle, which they see as their religious duty. They also think that they're going to be rewarded in the afterlife, in paradise, for that, Yasmin.
And Paul, why is there an influx now? Because 10 years ago, there was a trickle of Westerners involved in the jihadist movement, but now there seems like there's so many more.
There are so many more. I mean, there was a trickle who went to join al-Qaeda, the various affiliates in the years after 9/11, and al-Qaeda tried to use these people for attacks in the West. But ISIS have a whole lot more. There's already been a flood of people joining ISIS. Part of that is the attraction of joining a group which is now declared an Islamic State and is seen as successful. Part of it is it's more easy to get to somewhere like Syria than the Afghanistan-Pakistan border region. A lot of people going over there can travel to Turkey, which is a big holiday destination, and then they can just slip over the border into Syria. For quite a long time, Turkish authorities were turning a blind eye to people going through. That's now changed. They're very worried about this threat, Yasmin.
Paul, we don't have a lot of time left, but from what I understand, President Obama is meeting with his national security team today to discuss the situation with ISIS and possible airstrikes. How is that going to affect us here at home?
Well, I think if there are United States airstrikes in Syria, that this is potentially a red line for this terrorist group, ISIS. Syria is actually their stronghold. They may see this as an existential threat, so they may ratchet up attempts to try and attack Western interests, American interests, both in the region, places like Jordan, Turkey and Lebanon, but also back in the United States. And they do have all these Western recruits. So the worry is, and it's not something they've really done yet, the worry is that they could train these people in bomb making and other terrorist skills and send them back to launch attacks, Yasmin. Real concern about that, that there could be an immediate ratcheting up in the terror threat.
Paul Cruikshank, CNN terrorism analyst, thanks so much for joining us, Mike, and we're going to continue to monitor the situation and bring it to you, of course, as we get it.
Okay, Yasmin, thanks.